Hello everyone out there in YouTube, it's me, the Pandorica Opens, welcoming you to my second Doctor Who action figure review. Now before I start, obviously it's been a number of months since I last posted one of these reviews, but that was mainly down to university. But luckily I've passed my 3 years of doing drama now, so I can get back to doing these reviews, which I hope you'll all enjoy. Another thing, I did say in my last video I was going to do the 11th Doctor, however as you can see, Matt Smith's either gone completely insane and changed, or this is a different Doctor, and it's the latter obviously. So, today I've decided to go with the 6th Doctor, as played by Colin Baker, from Attack of the Cybermen. Now, before I begin looking at articulation and stuff, this figure is the one that came with the Stealth Cyberman, or the Cyber Scout, which means this is the second Colin Baker they released. It's not the original. I do want to own an original, but they're not easy to come by since Wave 1 was a number of years ago. But yeah, anyway, let's have a look at this figure. Articulation I'll begin with first. Arms, as you can see, they do a 360. The biceps can also do a 360. All the joints on these are very stiff, as I don't tend to use my figures that much. I mean, I don't do action figure adventures. As you can see, I can't actually twist the wrist round, but he does have 360 movement in the wrist. Head can do a 360. I don't want to force mine all the way around in case it comes off. His legs go forward and backward, hindered by his multicolored Technicolor Dreamcoat. But yeah, they can do 360s, and the waist can also do a 360. Mine's rather stiff, so I can't really show you. There's no ankle articulation. Some other figures have ankle articulation, but as you can see from here, his trousers are actually part of the sculpt of the shoe. And that's basically it for the articulation of this figure. But anyhow, a little bit more info. Yeah, as I said, this is the 6th Doctor. It was played by the great Colin Baker. I think Colin Baker's a very good Doctor. Not my favourite. My favourite is McCoy, but I think Colin is very good. I think he's sometimes an underrated Doctor. He's very good in the audios, and I think it's his stories that ultimately let him down in the show. But anyway, let's have a look at some of the details. I'll go from the head and work my way to the explosion in a rainbow factory. The head, it's kind of a bit blurry, excuse me, shoddy camera skills again. The hair is very nice. It's actually two colours, as you can see. It's a darker colour with a lighter blonde over the top to give it that sort of effect. It's how his hair was in the show in his first season. It's all very nice. There's the back, it's all very good. And the face is very good. It looks a lot like him. If you look at the eyebrows, it sort of captures his Doctor's persona, if you know what I mean. He's a very arrogant and boastful Doctor, and I think his coat emphasises that a little bit, but the eyebrows are raised and it gives you that idea of the arrogance of his Doctor, which I actually quite like. I quite like the Doctor to have a little bit of arrogance. But yeah, now onto the coat and the costume. Now, this costume, yeah, it's, well, just look at it. It's a bit insane. Obviously, a sign of the 80s. And John Nathan Turner obviously wanting to making a big impression with this new Doctor. But the good thing is about this costume, even though it's very garish and vibrant, it actually probably helped when it was turned into a figure, as people will want to get this figure, because, well, look at it. The detail in this figure is absolutely fantastic. Now, his costume is so complicated in the flesh that they've had to make some details a little bit simpler, which I will go into now. he's got, as you can see, the question marks on the collar. I'll just, oh, it's going blurry again, I apologise. Yeah, there we go. You can just about see them there. The question marks, obviously, on his collar, which is very nice. Just here, where the shirt, where you can see the rest of his waistcoat behind the cravat, that should actually be white, but it isn't. They obviously either forgot about it or just didn't bother, but this was changed when it got to the Terror of the Vervoids, Colin, which I'll do in another episode. His cravat's very nice. It's obviously got the white dots. It's the blue cravat he wore in his first season and on the Mysterious Planet of Trial of the Time Lord. His waistcoat's got the two different patterns on, which is how it should be from the show, and they've also sculpted in the keychain for his TARDIS key, which is very nice, and it's in the green. It started off green, and then again in Trial of the Time Lord it became a purple, a bright purple, I believe it was, or it was a very light colour, something like that. His trousers are the big, vibrant pinstripe yellow trousers, which are very, very nice. They're very close to how they were in the show. His shoes, they're also very good. They're the green shoes, and what I really like about them is they've actually included the ankle armour, which featured on Colin Baker's shoes. And it actually continues on the bottom of the shoe. You can't see very well on this camera, unfortunately, but you can maybe just make it out. It actually continues just here, and it's all very good, as you would expect it to just finish maybe at the end of the side of the shoe and that'd be it, but no, that's very good attention to detail. But it's the coat that's the real defining feature for this figure, and I just think it's fantastic. It's slightly simplified to how it is in the show, but that's because it's just so complicated. It's got the yellow and the pink lapels here. Interesting note on just the yellow here. You can't really see on the inside of this coat, but the inside of the coat should have a pattern, but obviously it's just too much detail for something you'd hardly see. And this yellow lapel should actually have on the inside several black cats going down it. But, you know, it's been glued down, and there would be little point in sculpting it on if it was going to be glued down, so we'll give that one a free pass. His pink lapel has the cat badge as he wore in Attack of the Cybermen, because I did say it's from that story, and it's very, very good, and he wore it in other stories, obviously. The collar has got the pattern almost as it was in the story, the different patches of colours, the different pattern, which is all very, very nice. Obviously his sleeve is in the bright pink. The cuffs of his jacket are close to how they do appear in real life. They have more than 4 black lines on them, but they've again had to simplify it, and it looks good with 4. I mean, I'm not sure how many it does have, but it's still nice anyway. And if I just lift up his arm, actually I'll show you there, you can see the tartan pattern which featured on his coat. The tartan pattern has been simplified because it's very complicated to get right on a 5-inch scale. I dread to think what it'd be like in the new 3 3¾ scale, I believe it is, or 3.75, whatever. And here you can see the pockets. They've again got a pattern similar to the collar of the jacket, which is all very good. You can just see the colours here, the red, the tartan pattern again, the dark green, the tartan, and then you've got the tail here, which is very nice, which is all very good, and the buckle detail there. This portion of his jacket is actually, it's not as it should be, but it's again down to the complications of the costume. So they've just given it a dirty wash and put some of the lines down. It should actually have more lines, but again, the complexity of this costume, there need to be some sacrifices. And again, you've got the pink, and it continues here, the pocket again, and the green under his arm. And that's basically it for his costume. what else? Oh yes, this version comes with an accessory. Now, the original came with his sonic lance from Attack of the Cybermen, which he stabs the Cybermen with and does some repairs to the TARDIS. Because this... Whoa, I dropped him. I am very sorry, Colin. But because this is the second release, it came with a different accessory. This is actually the tracker he uses to trace the signal that... I think it's either the Cybermen transmitter or it's the signal that Lytton was transmitting, and I can't show you the detail very well, unfortunately, on this camera. Something I'll have to sort out in future reviews, but the buttons are very close to how they were. They're very nicely detailed. It's how it appeared in the story, and it's just a very nice little accessory. Not sure why they didn't give him the Sonic Lance though, and then release this with the first release, this tracker, because the Sonic Lance would have worked with the Cyber Scout figure that comes with this Doctor, as he does stick it into that Cyberman and it meets its end. But I don't mind. Closing thoughts. Definitely try and find this figure with the Cyber Scout, because it's the 6th Doctor, and the 6th Doctor is possibly the most difficult figure to get a hold of, just simply because of this coat. Back when it was released on its own in Wave 1, which is probably back in 2006, it was only one of these per box of figures, and it went for ridiculous prices on eBay, which is why I never ended up getting one. My dad has one, lucky sod. But yeah, this is basically the same as that release. The paint job slightly better in the face, I don't know. But yeah, definitely try and track this down, and you'll get a Cyber Scout with it, a Cyberman. I like the design of the Cybermen. Speaking of the Cyber Scout, I'll come to review him in another episode. Maybe a Cyberman special at some point. Oh, and this head, the original head was removable, but this one isn't. So if you have this figure, or if you get this figure, don't try and remove it, as some figures do have removable heads. This isn't removable. You will break it, and I nearly did the first time I had it. But yes, definitely try and track down this figure. Go and see the story. It's Colin Baker's second story. It's very, very good. It's a bit unusual. He's quite violent in it. But yes, try and get this figure, and that's basically it for this review. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed my second review. It's been a long time coming. And join me in the next episode, where I will be reviewing another classic Doctor, and I guarantee which one it is this time. I'm not going to change my mind. It will be the 8th Doctor, as played by Paul McGann in the TV movie, which came from the 11 Doctors set. So, thank you very much for watching my action figure review, and I shall see you in my next episode, where I review the 8th Doctor action figure.